Sound, check. Sound. There is sound. Okay. Good morning to everyone. My usual daily morning analysis of Bitcoin. It's getting more and more interesting. Well, I should have shorted on this daily. Should have stayed actually with my short, because I shorted and then I have taken the profit. But I should have stayed with it longer, because right now, as we can see, it is just about to break this consolidation structure. I'll go to the lower time frames, but yeah, on the weekly, it is really interesting how we close this week, because depending on it, we either not confirm the green dot or we confirm it. I think the weekly is bullish, to be honest, but we'll see how the week closes. It really depends. So on the daily, it's pretty bearish. On the 4-hour, we might be able to recover, because we have diminishing money flow and it seems to be going up. So if we start pumping on the 4-hour and 3-hour, it would be bullish, very bullish, and we will close the weekly candle green. So let's I would wait for it to see the bigger picture here, but it's very probable that this is the bottom if we don't break this consolidation. This is the only rule, if we don't break this consolidation. And what I mean by that, I'll show you. 1 hour. 1 hour is also bullish, although we might have another leg down. It looks bullish to me. I mean, how many divergences we have, I think, and also the money flow is going up, so I think we can long this. Yeah, maybe I want to wait for this wave to go down. 15 minute. Let's see where it's going. If we have a green dot here, I will definitely probably long. Okay, let me see where the 15 minute is going, because it's a little bit in the air right now. So this resistance here at 19.55 is key. I mean, we broke it yesterday, and now we are backtesting this resistance. If we start going down from here, most probably we will break the latest wall at 17.6. Not this wall, but the other wall that we're consolidating. Really interesting what will happen. I don't intend to trade with big money. Maybe just take a scalp here or there, but the size of my trade will be very small, because I want to see now this 1 minute is going down. It's very probable that we get rejected here from this Ichimoku cloud, and we dump even lower. If that happens, bearish case for sure, which means we're going to 14 or 15k maybe, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see, because this might consolidate sideways here and then break to the upside. In this case, the bullish scenario is coming in play. So very tricky today, and tomorrow will be very tricky for direction in Bitcoin. And I mean for long-term direction. Yeah, this pump was retraced, I think fully, and this is bearish. Also, we had huge increase here. We pumped, and now we started to go down, and you can see that the volume aggregated cumulative delta hasn't fallen so much, so there is plenty of room to go down. Um, but it seems to me we're bottoming. I mean, we top traders average leverage delta is, it seems like it's bottoming, but we'll see. Uh, well, we seem to be going up on this, so we hit a wall at 26. Let me see the 90 day. Yeah, 26. So if we start, if this bottomed, that means that if we go up, the price should start dumping down, and basically we can see the next volatility leg down of Bitcoin, maybe 14, 15k. So I have been waiting for this from 14th of July, 14th of June, so almost 1 month. Almost 1 month I have been waiting for this, and I think it might be time to have the shorts. Well, on the 15 minute it looks like we have to short this. 45 minute, 1 hour. There is just so many divergences that I'm just afraid to short right now, because the price can pump very quickly from here, especially on this flat VWAP. It can like jump very quickly. So staying on the sideways right now. I want to see what is happening here. 15 minute now looks bearish. Let me see. So we have higher price, we have lower high here. This is divergence. That's a bearish divergence. Okay, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to short at this level because the risk reward ratio is very small. I mean, if I short, I don't know. For now, it's a pass for me. It's a pass. And I'm going to play Innsbruck Crypto Analysis, of course, to see what is going to happen. This is showing also bullish. I mean, last time we had this upside. At some point this is going to pump hard, and I think this point is coming, and we have to see where this is turning over to the upside, because right now there is divergence, and that's bullish, that's not bearish. The 15 minute looks terrible to be honest. We'll see what happens. Very interesting.
Hello folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Innsbruck Crypto. Today hopefully one very quick one. Yeah, let me check if we can see what's happening here. The weights ratio 30 days moving average didn't lift up anymore, so it maintains. However, we can see the weights ratio daily. It was, if we check, that was lifting up a lot, and now we see here it's an upward trend. I guess tomorrow it should go up again. Otherwise, it would surprise me, but we will see. However, then nothing is happening here. If it starts to retrace, in my opinion, my interpretation is they are done with actually with their preparation, and afterwards we should see the consequences of their preparation. So a big nuke in my opinion. And at the moment it looks very stable, everything. We are maintaining here, going more down, maybe then more up, and then down. But we need to see, as usual. Let us check more data. If we check the weights ratio 1 hour time frame, we see it was lifting up and it's declining right now. So the sell pressure should decline. I'm longing. I'm not sure if that's really the most smartest way to make some profit, to be honest. I just want to make a bit more money just to short even bigger afterwards. I'm not adding more funds, to be honest, since a while. So I'm just making more money to place that amount on futures. So if they are going to liquidate me, it's over. I'm not going to send more money to crypto, to be honest. It's not. It wasn't my plan, and it's not going. I'm not going to change my plan. So I have my spot. The futures are just to make some money. Every time I'm making big gain, I just buy some spot with that, and that's it for long term. So as soon as they liquidate me, it's over. We will see how long it will take to liquidate me. I mean, I'm playing uh, almost safe using stop loss and so on and so forth, but you know, it can happen very quickly. You forget the stop loss overnight. Happened once to me, as you know, and so we need to be careful here. However, also here we see what's happening, right? So we really need to be very careful. In my opinion, we will go up and see if it goes then, if it bounces to the downside or it has its breakout and goes up. So yeah, I think the local bottom could be in, and that's why I'm longing, of course, with low leverage. However, stablecoin reserves and exchanges still looking good. I mean, maintaining right now that range here since few days, but we did almost 500 millions. So we received 500 millions. We don't know if it's the exchange itself just to raise their reserves because they're, for example, expecting a sell-off or whatever, so a higher demand for stablecoins. Usually, when I see such big move, um, usually it's the exchange, but um, that happens when the exchange reserves are declining. That's not the case here. So maybe one whale wants to absorb as much as they can here and that dip zone. But as mentioned, we need to see. It wouldn't surprise me if we go up just to retest the resistance again and then go down again. It's something we need to zoom out sometimes. Stablecoin supply maintains down, so not indicating any big activity here. Let us go forward and check the flows. So if we check the flow activity, we are not going to detect anything big. Just really, it wasn't really big. So we received some. I need to turn off this one. That was yesterday, but today really quiet. 400, 600, so nothing. The biggest here was 1,600 bitcoins this morning. Yesterday, afternoon, almost 2,900. So, but the outflows, as you can see, is rising a lot. Well, people will sell, yeah, accumulation, moon next. Well, just ask yourself why the price is declining while they are buying, you know. So someone is selling, but it seems, I don't know, but looks like they are using, as usual, multi-channel just to dump. So it's not only spot on centralized exchanges, it's OTC and so on and so forth. And usually the market maker is the entity that's using different channels to dump. So it wouldn't surprise me. However, absolutely not big. Yes, we have outflows. We always have outflows. The question is who is selling and why? That's the thing. Because if we check the entities and mainly the market maker entity, we would see something that was surprising me as well. So if we check, for example, here stablecoins, we received a lot of stablecoins, almost here 500 millions and another 150. So I'm maybe not that wrong, longing here just to go up a little bit more, maybe to 20,400 or something. Maintain here and afterwards decline more. That's something we need to see. It's too early and we need to check more informations. But at the same time, we also had big outflows. I mean, that's the net flow is almost should be neutral. If we check here, 219 millions, 325 millions, and here another 100 million. So if we check both, it's 550, 650. 650 if we check here. Yeah, it's neutral. It's 650. So someone sold and the same they bought. So that explains then we don't have any gap here. And that's it. So let us check the next chapter. So also on futures we can see that future funding rate is rising a lot since, well, that was, yeah, since yesterday, really a lot. That's really huge. At the same time we see that the open interest declined. It's lifting up a little bit and the leverage ratio also lifting up right now. If we take a look, for example, here to the stablecoins related to derivative exchanges, well, nothing big. Once again, a lot of stablecoin outflows, 250 million versus 130 million in inflows. So taking profit, it seems. That's why it's the net flow is so red. Well, it's becoming now more green, but still too red. And even here, nothing big. I mean, Bitcoin inflows 2,600, at the same time outflows 1,500 Bitcoins, and really nothing big here. So let us go forward and check what Blockchain Whispers and Kingfish is showing. Wow, wow, that's crazy again. Well, many are expecting, I guess, the local bottom and are longing. That's crazy. We are 30, 61 to 39. That's really crazy. 61 to 39. Huh. That's hardcore. Okay, so even here it's almost the same. 60 to 40 for Ethereum. Let us check what the Kingfisher is showing us. Ah, I can spin again. So for those who don't know, you can use the spin at the Kingfisher to have or to get some credits. With these credits, you can use the give me. Oh no, unfortunately not. Blue is the best. Of course, you can get 10 credits or 15 credits. Otherwise, the green ones are also very nice, but the red ones are pain. Try again later. You can do that every hour. So I still have 27 credits. That's enough. Let us check here the liquidation map now. Wow. Wow. Look that. Shots. A lot of shots, but at the same time a lot of longs here as well. Okay, I do it from the beginning. Let us see if that matches to FTX as well. Oops. Takes a little bit as usual. So if the short position is not showing up here on FTX, I would say on Binance side that's maybe some whales and retailers. Oh yes, at least I don't know if it's the same, but at least less volume. But we have this here, at least this one looks very accurate on FTX and Binance. So I'm not sure here and I'm not sure here, but this one looks very accurate. Let us check. So a price of 19,700. So it seems it's a new one. Hmm. Now I'm struggling, to be honest. Now I'm struggling. Someone or many, but on FTX maybe possible, are longing with high leverage. Okay, let us go forward. So what we see here is that, well, first of all, as mentioned today, that's what FTX is doing. Some said that sometimes people are just thinking too complicated, that's just dump money. I don't reply to such comments anymore. I know that many of you have a lot of time. They love to comment. And I really, well, but no, that doesn't have anything to do with dump money. We can see a lot of dump money, but not in such a concentration. That's usually not dump money. In my opinion, we can see here three things. First of all, they're accumulating, not to the sideway, in a sideway run like we have seen in the past, but in a downward trend. And that's something interesting because actually that's what FTX did in the past, and afterwards they nuked with that. So it wouldn't surprise me that's part of a preparation. I don't know why they changed instead of sideway run, just go to accumulate in the downward run. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense much more than sideway run. Sideway run is something you can do just to fool people when because many of the people just think sideway run accumulation is bullish. It's not. Not 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 always. However, if we take a look, I mean aggregated spot indicating they are distributing, while FTX it's not distributing as you see, and Bitcoin collateral is also showing here more to the downside. Also the futures with stablecoins, even it's lifting up, and the price of course reacting to it. So I can imagine we are going to see such kind of dead cat bounce. I don't know how far. I would think something like 20,300 or something. Maybe go a little bit more up, 20,600 as a bull trap, and then go down even more. But that's a process. We have a very important week, and I can imagine that we can go very quick to the downside and really just break the 19k. So if we check here, of course, that's Coinbase as usual. Coinbase, sometimes they sell, but they are more on the buy side. If we check Gimini, let's check the 30 minutes. It makes more sense. Maybe also here, very interesting. Not big, no big volume, but also buying. If we check Binance, Binance here is one of the most favorite exchanges by the market maker. We will check the market maker entity. It surprised me a lot, to be honest. Also interesting, Bitfinex sold here, and then someone bought. Does that make sense? Huh, looks strange a little bit. And we have Binance Perp. Of course, we have to load the right template, and we see that the funding rate is declining. Check the 30 minutes. It's declining, still relatively high. Open interest is going up, indicating they are more on the long side, still demanding longs, but more shorts than before. So the demand is flipping a little bit, indicating they are demanding right now a little bit more shorts than longs. So that also correlates very well to blockchain whispers, indicating still too many longs on their balances. And you see how much, I mean, red, 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 some green, but a lot of red coming in. If we check, I guess, oh Jesus, oh God, look, SPY, that's the market maker. Nice, that's nice. And what's Bitcoin doing? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Once again indicating and showing us how weak Bitcoin is looking. Nothing. Usually the algos who are following SPY at the moment should push the price up. That's indicating they are distributing at the same time using the push look. Bitcoin price is even declining while SPY is just pushing. So we did our 108 on DXY. I don't think it's going. Many people are. It's over now to zero. No, it's not going to happen. It will maintain a very high level, but it's time hopefully to see 400 before it nukes, before SPY starts to nuke hard. So we need to see because we did 390. I was expecting 400, and Bitcoin looks extremely bearish. Jesus, that looks I think I'm going to flip too short and that's it. Or just stay away to see a higher price, but that doesn't look very good to be honest. So let us go forward and check what the market maker is doing. Well, the market maker not big, as you see, it correlates with the flow activity we have seen, but check that. That's crazy. That's just crazy. That's crazy. Not even last year they reduced their balances that much. Not even last year. In my opinion, that's pure distribution. I don't know if these guys know something, if they are. I don't know. I really don't know, but that's huge. Down, up, more down. That's huge. And also indicates we are absolutely not done. IT Tech was showing me, for example, and maybe yeah, I can do that. Was showing me, for example, a new app that looks very interesting. I don't know what the name. Ah, yeah, G Data. And he was mentioning that he can disable exchanges related, no, wallets linked to exchanges at entities with more than 10,000 Bitcoin. That's great because it will be the first data provider that can do that or is offering that because no one is doing that. And that was in the past my problem because I just said it doesn't make sense to me to analyze entities with more than 10,000 bitcoins when wallets there are still linked to exchanges, for example. And usually it's very simple to know um, if actually these wallets, if it makes sense what they are doing. We know some golden rules by whales. They accumulate and dip zones, and even when they are pushing to a bull run, and start to distribute then when we are close to the top. They start to distribute all the time. They push the price down again, generating fear. Then at the bottom, they start to accumulate to absorb from the weak hands. It's really easy. So he thanks IT Tech for providing me this chart because I don't have any access yet to GData. But um, he um, adjusted the settings and it's indicating all balances or all entities with more than 10,000 bitcoins without any exchange wallets. If we check their trade behavior, and that's why I called them here market makers. In green we see the Bitcoin price, and in blue we see their balances. If we check here, it's clearly indicating us an accumulation, while the price, Bitcoin price, was lifting up close to actually, well, yeah, close to the top. They started to distribute. They did here break, and they distributed even more afterwards. This distribution has initiated a Bitcoin price crash. They have started to accumulate again at the bottom, while initiating, as you can see here, it correlates very well, even better than sentiment to be honest, uh, initiating fake rallies. something. It's what we know from market makers, or it's at least institutionals, they do when they're accumulating. And that's what they did here. In particular, at the market makers, they missed, for example, to accumulate more to push the price up even to the new all-time high. In my opinion, just because of they were expecting a rejection for spot ETF, and at the same time because of the China ban. But this chart is from trade behavior indicating these guys know everything. They know everything. If you check how the price, Bitcoin price, correlates to their balances, reducing balances, okay, for example, here we have maybe an exception, even they pushed up, but then they distributed even more afterwards. And that's what they are doing. And that's why I'm saying since a while, these guys are extremely bearish. Extremely bearish. They declined even more the balances, and that's extremely bearish. But this chart here is indicating me they are the market makers. The price is driven by them, not by other entities. If we check, for example, this chart here, it's indicating distribution while the Bitcoin price was lifting up. They start to accumulate lately. It seems they started to distribute even before we have started this fake rally here. However, we can see what the price is doing. Let me take that out. And they have started to accumulate even more before we had our crash. So buying the top to the downside, then they lifted up, they accumulated a little bit more, just a little bit more, while the price was going down. Also something that looks a little bit strange. And they have to distribute, they have started to distribute just before our spring. Also something that's not indicating these guys are the best in trade behavior. Then they accumulated with the price, they distributed again at the bottom, and while the price started to lift up, then they started to accumulate again at the top, and they started to distribute afterwards. And since then they're accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. Now my question, does that here looks like a market maker? Do you think the market maker is going to accumulate the top and distribute the bottom? That's usually something that the dumb money is doing, or exchanges. And that's my problem I have with this kind of entities. I'm not going to say that the data from GData is maybe wrong, but unfortunately it's indicating exactly the same what the other apps is also showing. And that's why I don't like to see or to analyze those 10k plus entities, because their trade behavior is absolutely not good. It's not indicating these guys are really institutionals. They don't buy the top and sell the bottom. It's not what these guys are doing. But that's what this chart is indicating. If we check, for example, this year correlates very well to the fake rallies, and it's indicating that these guys here have the whole market in their hands. At the same time, we can see that these guys here have as maximum 2.9 million bitcoins, while these guys have almost, well, not the double, but 5 million bitcoins. So that's one reason why the market maker entities or those entities with 1,000 to 10,000 bitcoins are for me so relevant, to be honest. Because these guys, every time they declined their balances, the price had a big impact, a bearish one. Every time when the price went up after a while, when they started to accumulate, weeks later, we had a bull run or we had at least a big rally. And that's something I'm still waiting for it. We need to be very careful because these guys have the best trade behavior, the best timing, and it seems they have insider knowledge or at least insider advantage. So we need to be very careful. However, also these guys, it seems they are not buying big, not accumulating, and these guys are accumulating, and well, retailers are buying. However, so I will maintain to my market makers, and yes, these guys are just um, declining their balances while bigger entities are rising in balances. The question is who is behind and why it's happening them. Why are they rising, or in the past at least, they have raised their balances, for example, in the top of a price. I really don't know. I guess if I'm going to take the 10,000 here as well, it should look almost, yeah, it's not exactly like in GData, but as you see, it's also indicating these guys are absorbing what the market maker is selling. If that's the case, the question is, why is the market maker selling? Nobody makes this question. We should make this question because the market maker is the guy, or at least the entities and the holders, they were driving the market all the time. So why are these guys reducing their balances even more, and they didn't start to accumulate? In my opinion, because the bottom is not in. So that was a long chapter, but hopefully it was useful to you, and we will check now the exchange walls.
Okay, thanks. I'm not interested in the exchange walls. So this was really interesting. The market makers are selling. That's the reason I'm very careful what I do right now. As I said, don't trade with big money, especially now. The daily is bearish, clearly. It might break this consolidation and head lower. The 4 hour is bullish, so let's see what happens. I'm more for the bullish, at least bullish relief rally a little bit on the 4 hour, but we will see. I mean, we might get rejected again. We're very thick in the money fall in the red, so there might be another leg down. If we don't break this cloud, this Ichimoku cloud soon, I think we're going to go down. Either way. So that's it from me. Have a nice Wednesday, and I see you back maybe tomorrow, or maybe I'll play Diablo in the evening. We'll see.